Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Absolute DMV podcast. It's your man, Ace Boogie, and I'm here with a few good guys. My man, Marc is back.
Yep, I'm here again.
And he'll be gone soon.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm sticking around this time.
eGogh on the boards.
I'm on the board.
My good gentlemen, how y'all feeling?
I'm chilling. I'm posted like a mailbox.
I like it.
I'm not posted like a mailbox. Fuck that shit.
I know you ain't posted like a mailbox. You look like you trying to take somebody's bike, Debo. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. He about to sea walk, all types of stuff. Look at him.
So the reason why I am dressed like this is LOZ anniversary tonight, and I have to go and represent. So pretty much, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to go out there and throw some blows like the old pod last week. We're talking about breakdancing.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to go out there and represent.
Nice. That's what's up. Yeah. Shout out to LZ.
Probably not.
Shout out to LOZ.
I'll probably just look
if he dances,
I'm going to look the part.
If he dances, I'm coming. Because, you know what I'm saying? I got to see this. I got to see
just like
eGogh bust a move on
Just
him.
like a dude goes on the court, he looks like the part, but
hey.
I'm probably not going to do shit.
Y'all want to see me on the court? I'm trouble. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah.
If I ain't twist the ankle, I get the triple-double.
Knee braces on and everything.
Nah, ankle braces, double ankle braces, put them things on. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Old man style. Still rock the long shorts, everything.
Is your sneakers all the way tight around the ankle?
Boy.
The high top.
Like I said, it don't
Kill your circulation.
It
right
don't
there.
look tight because I got the real ankle braces on, so it don't look tight. But the ankle braces is tied up tight. You know what I'm saying?
Funny.
I don't play none of that. But yeah, gentlemen, what we got going on? Yeah, Marc, you wasn't here last week, man. What was going on, man? What you had doing?
Oh man, so I was out in LA actually. I flew out there. I was
Speaking of, he was throwing them sets.
So yeah, Marc was out there throwing up big B's and C's. Let me not put that on Marc. What's up, player?
Armenian style.
That's true. No, I was out in Glendale and in a lot of places where there's basically like Armenian right there is like it's a really big community out there. Okay. So like you'll see on walking down the street sign, you'll see the sign first store in English and then right next to it in Armenian because there's a lot of big population centralized. But it was cool. I was actually speaking about my song 1915 and the Armenian genocide and the history behind that because April 24th is the anniversary of that, which is the commemoration. So with that coming up, I went out there and spoke to a school, but it was cool because it was not a big Armenian population in the school. It's actually mostly Latino students on the other side of LA. So it was cool because a lot of folks were
That's wild.
hearing about it for the first time.
I know.
That's wild. So you saw a bunch of kids dressed like Eric eGogh right now. You was telling them about the Armenian genocide.
Hey man,
It threw you off. You were like, "What the? How many house shoes are people walking around with khakis?" No. I mean, actually, it's
Chucks
crazy.
and Cortezes, did you see?
Cortez. No, but it's California. It's kind of actually like hipster, kind of like gear. Like they wear like skater gear or whatever.
yeah.
Like a lot of the kids don't wear like the typical gang member stuff because they don't want to be repping sets and stuff. I used to live out there, so I know.
Oh yeah. Well, PacSun, that was a LA company, right? Originally, we have that over there. That's like the same sort of vibe, that like retro skater sort of,
the surfer look.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, no, but it was cool. I got to speak to 1,100 students. Did 6 presentations. Each one was 45 minutes. We just knocked 6 of them out in a day. So it was.
He was
You know what you should have did?
What?
You should have told all them kids, pull out your phones, follow me on Instagram.
Right.
Or you can't leave. Lock the door.
Yeah,
Lock the door.
exactly.
Lock the door.
And a $20 donation.
You know what I'm saying? Lock the doors.
I know your parents paid right now, but guess what?
If everybody in this
Right.
room gives $20.
Yeah, that would be that will be viral.
You will fund my next album.
You know what I'm saying?
That would
Straight
be
up.
viral. I'm coming with you the next joint. I'm gonna put it out.
Look, Debo.
Yeah. Yeah, my Debo preacher enforcer over here.
Dego over there.
Dego.
This guy. But yeah, I saw a little bit of the clip of
Yeah.
it, and like I said, it was a stadium, like I guess a little like stadium or
Yeah, I mean they had an auditorium and yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was like it was a really big auditorium. So, but they Yeah, the first 5 or 6 rows were filled up each period, and collectively throughout the day it was over 1,000 kids. Like I guess 1,100 was the estimate, but it was cool. Talked a lot about the Armenian genocide, other genocides, and a lot of kids were really interacting with it, asking questions, and also like just asking for more bars, because I performed the song. So a couple kids asking for freestyles and this and that, and 16. So it was a really good.
Tell them kids I don't freestyle for free. Look, I got an album. Go to Apple, Spotify. I got plenty of. What y'all think this is?
Yo,
I'm promoting a song right now.
Dude, go
I got plenty of raps on that song.
Pull out your phone right now.
You know what I'm saying? What's up with y'all?
Hey, comment, subscribe.
Hey, my man. You know what I'm saying? Lock the doors.
Yeah. To be fair, though, they were proactively asking, like, hey, what's your Spotify? What's your YouTube? Where are your socials? And I had it on the screen, too, for part of it. Nice. So I did get a bunch of them sort of followed me on socials and, on YouTube. And, I've been listening to I did see my follower increase on Spotify go up.
Dope.
So it's it's good. I try not to like shove it down the throats because technically I'm also like as like a representative of the school system.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like,
But I mean, if you're making educational music,
true.
Then
absolutely, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Take this, little kid.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Take this knowledge.
Yeah, I'm surprised somebody didn't come out of the crowd try to battle you. They're like, yo,
hey,
I've been working on my rhymes, and I found, hey, let's go.
But I mean, at the end of the day, like, I'm not a battle rapper. Like, there's different lanes for every artist.
I know.
And so it's like,
my big cousin.
It would be
my
funny.
Big cousin Geechee Gotti. So
Geechee Gotti.
Geechee Gotti. You know what I'm saying? He gave me some bars.
There you go.
Let's battle.
But I feel like this is the perfect
dialogue.
This is like I said, a perfect for you to actually add to your resume. And put it out there.
Absolutely. No, it was a good time. Definitely. I'm excited to do more of that in the future for sure.
That's what's up. Well, speaking of battle, we in a battle right now.
Major battle.
Everybody is feeling away. Biggest news going on right now is this tariff situation.
Mm-hmm.
Can I please play it? Can I please play it?
Hold on. Okay. One second.
Okay.
We got to do the background.
Yeah. Tariff situation. So if you aren't aware, Donald Trump, I mean, you should be aware.
Dude,
check your portfolio.
You're living under a rock if you're not aware.
Check your portfolio. Lock the doors. Not for real. Donald Trump has imposed I can't say major tariffs, but he has imposed a line of tariffs on, I believe, 60 different countries.
And an island populated by penguins.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, because they were so you could tell the lazy job they did of cut and paste all the countries. There's an uninhabited island that has no trade because no humans live there, only penguins. And they were
10%
charged with tariffs.
But I mean, well, not but. In addition to that. I believe they said that chart was fake. Exactly. Because that chart, I mean, other than
the typical the major
tariffing penguins, imposing tariffs on penguins. I believe a lot of those numbers of the countries weren't actually accurate.
Okay.
So it wasn't that. Let's not say it was fake. I mean, maybe we should say it's fake because that's their thing, fake news.
Fake news.
But it was misleading. I'm willing to go that far.
I'm sure that penguin was pissed off. It's
bro, I'd be pissed. You trying to put imports on my sardines or whatever I eat?
Dude, like they're surviving with seals just killing them, and they're like, all right, now we got tariffs to worry about?
And we already cut the U.S. AID,
polar bears,
so we ain't going to be helping them through that. Polar bear, they're on their own, those poor little penguins.
Hey, you know what? That's the name of today's episode, Polar Bears and Tariffs. Nah, but for real, though. For real. Let's get serious. Trump done put big tariffs on a lot of countries. And it is supposed to poised, that's the word I was looking for, sorry. It's poised to increase the prices on our everyday living. Because as Americans, as the U.S., we actually import everything. We don't really export anything except for like entertainment. And I don't know how
high fructose corn syrup.
Oh, that too. Yeah. And other countries don't actually use that.
No, not really. They like the real thing.
Once again,
Sugar,
we don't
healthier.
export too much. So I don't know how tariffing other countries is really going to work other than pissing them off and making them raise the prices on us.
Hence China.
So, eGogh, react, man.
So,
Marc,
yeah,
react.
okay.
Y'all tell
I'm
me how
gonna
y'all
react.
feel.
So I'm gonna play something because the thing about it is he's so wishy-washy, and again, this is what like it's laughable because he changes his mind, he changes his thought process daily, like not like months or whatever, and he's doing his research. It's daily, and I actually have an example. So I'm gonna play what he was talking trash, and it bit in his ass. So.
And I think we're going to do much better than that this time, because this time I'm doing what I want to do with respect to the tariffs. I think we're going to do much better. And don't let some of these politicians go around saying, because I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are.
So crazy.
They are dying to make a deal. Please, please, sir, make a deal. I'll do anything. I'll do anything, sir. And then I'll see some rebel Republican, some guy that wants to grandstand, say, I think that Congress should take over negotiations. Let me tell you, you don't negotiate like I negotiate.
That's the man right there. Big T.
Big T is some bullshit.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it is, if that's the case, then on Wednesday, literally a day after he literally reneged, and pretty much my fault, and again, the numbers say he didn't completely get rid of his tariffs. He literally dropped it down to 10%.
Yeah, they're still ongoing, but at 10%. They were much higher before.
Because
The
what he
increase is paused. That's what's
said,
paused.
the increase is
Yes.
paused, but the market showed what he said didn't make sense. It crashed so bad that he literally had to go. Like he couldn't. Like I'm gonna hold my own. It was literally
he
the
backed
world was
out.
like, okay, you want to do that shit?
No, I mean the whole
whole
world
economy.
went bad.
The whole world.
And not
The
just
whole world went bad because America is the biggest consumer in the world. Like I said,
and
we import everything. We don't export anything.
and
So
so,
the
like,
reason,
let me-
hold on, I'm sorry, real quick. The reason countries actually like us is because we buy from them. So if America's not trying to buy from other countries, then other countries aren't willing to work with America.
Exactly.
And they don't work with America, we don't get goods brought in because we're not buying goods from them.
And the thing that really
Problem.
sunk us. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying it's a problem. Go ahead.
Yeah. The thing that really sunk it and really forced his hand to reverse course is not only did the market crash, but the bonds market crashed.
And that's the big one.
And again, it's like if you don't have enough faith in the U.S. government to be able to pay back an investment you make with them, then that's really bad luck,
And again, the dollar is not a value that you
Exactly.
You want to know who the biggest buyer of bonds are? Of American bonds?
Americans.
No.
Who?
China.
Oh.
China and Japan. So,
If you're in
Interesting.
again, your
if
biggest,
you
your biggest
impose
buyer,
180% tariff on
China.
your biggest bond purchaser, that's going to slow down.
Jeez.
And when that slow down, that messes up your economy.
And so that's the thing about it, like the world. So after he did that,
Yeah.
the world, Wall Street went straight up when. Like that's what's so crazy because again, that shows that what he said fucked it up. And when he actually like went back to what it went up 12% in that one, like within hours.
And you cut like 120,000 jobs from the federal government. That's really going to help the economy, people who don't have money to spend.
Yeah.
So,
How's
I
that-
mean.
like how does that make sense?
And then Musk is now talking about giving every American $5,000,
Yeah,
which is like, where is that money gonna come from? That's another.
It's supposedly coming from. This is something I think I mentioned to you, gentlemen.
Yeah, the breakdown.
Probably like a month ago.
Yeah, you did. You broke it down.
Yeah.
Where basically they're speaking of what's called the Doge dividend. What they're trying to say is every dollar that they saved from cutting contracts and firing people or people resigning, whatever they're doing, from just the cuts of the federal government and all those programs, what they're saying is they want to turn around and give that back to the American people.
Sure.
The problem with that is a lot of these contracts and things are already actually paid out.
Yeah.
So what
and things that they say they cut, they didn't actually cut.
Yeah,
or was it?
It's not that it
doesn't
wasn't
add up.
actually cut. It was cut. It's just that money was already paid out, so you didn't actually cut anything.
Yeah.
So in the end of everything, it's going to be like a class action lawsuit where they're going to pay out $16 million. I'm just saying this example of a class action lawsuit. They're going to pay out $25 million to 125,000 people or 500,000 people or whatever it is. And everybody's going to get a grand total of $13 or something like that. And that's what it's actually going to break down for us, because the Doge dividend is going to give that money to taxpayers. So you fired people just to turn around and give them $5,000.
Yeah.
If that's the amount.
Well, I heard also that
the
thing that he put out the report, he claimed like $88 or something billion in savings so far. It only turned out to be like $2 billion, and most of that, as you were saying, was like stuff that was already done before he came in, like contracts that weren't renewed and things like that.
Exactly.
So, and again, like $5,000, if that's the number he wants to stick with, for like, I'm assuming every U.S. citizen who's an adult, like of voting age, like that's going to be way more than $2 billion. That's going to be
yeah, exactly. And
we're talking like trillions.
Exactly. So if you're not saving something upwards of $10 trillion,
it ain't worth it.
You can't really expect everybody
to
get the 5,000 or something substantial out of this. So, hey man, however it goes is however it goes. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta buckle down and.
It's the thing about it is
get your investments right.
I feel like all this politics is a reality show, and you'll always get something every day, or if not every week, a different episode.
It didn't used to be like this. It's only like this when Big T's in office, which makes it somewhat entertaining when he's in office.
It's not even entertaining anymore.
No, now it's scary.
Pockets,
yeah, now it's scary.
And the thing, like
it was entertaining, like his first term.
Yeah,
and his first term was like, all right, we're going to see how he's being a fuck up. Now you're fucking people's lives up and livelihood. That's not funny anymore. Like it's like
and I think that's why he did so well when he first ran in 2016. It was because like he was a joke. It was almost like social commentary on how bad American politics are. That like you could have an idiot running and there's only two candidates, so like there's a 50% chance he could win. But then it was, but now that it's like more than a political, like a comedy, it's like, yo, this guy is like really, really doing damage. Which again, he's always said he was going to do all this stuff. If you don't know what he's going to do next, go back and watch what he said, because he's doing everything that he said.
He's exactly doing everything. He literally, after he took a break and said, all right, when I get back, I'm fucking everything up.
Yeah.
And he has a partner with him. And that's the thing about it. Like before, it was all on him. Now he's kind of like, he decided to have a vice president, but my vice president ain't my boy. I have somebody I grew up with.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
Elon.
right.
That's Elon. Elon was like, all right, you know what?
Nah, he has a crew. It's a whole crew.
It's a crew, but who speaks beside his vice president's not speaking on it, what he's doing.
His vice president's with him.
It's with him, but Elon is his boy. Like that's the guy that's like, I got your back. Even though he kind of doesn't, he's kind of doing it on his own.
Trump and Elon are both businessmen.
Well, I think
their connection is that business. So they're trying to run the country like a business where you can't do that. But it's a country, not a corporation.
But I'm excited to see where this is almost like a season of like White Lotus, like these two rich, white, narcissistic billionaires trying to do this thing together. At one point, one of them is going to be like, "But I'm in charge, right?" And it'll be like a whole thing. And I feel like we might see that because
it's
like
happening. I heard it's happening right now.
Musk was like on what was it, X, right?
Yeah.
And he was talking about he didn't want European countries to be not the white people. The white countries will be safe, right?
I feel he's gonna. I think Elon's gonna build enough fucking clout and following that he's gonna run against Trump.
But he can't because he's not a U.S. He wasn't born in the U.S.
He'll find a way. I'm telling you. Again,
I don't know. I mean,
Trump also said he was going to run for another term too.
Well, yeah, he can't do that either. You would need
Supreme Court would have to change the Constitution.
But no, it's not even a Supreme Court thing. It's like to change the Constitution, you'd have to have the House or the House of Representatives and the Senate pass it, and then it would go up for like it'd be like what we did in Maryland, where we voted to do all these abortion protections and things. Every state would have to vote on it, and you need, I think, 2/3 of the 50 states to say yes for it to actually be.
But that's once again the problem, that 2/3 of the 50 states are red states.
Yeah.
So
We'll see how they feel after the tariffs, though.
No, but it's
all those minimum wage workers out there.
Again, everything right now is not the same way it used to run. So honestly, I couldn't. If it happened, I literally would be like, okay.
I mean, at this point,
he's a felon and he's the president.
At this point, there's really nothing we can do about it. So we just got to deal with the disappointment. And I mean,
I don't know. Speaking of, I don't know. It's crazy. So did you also have something that kind of related to this?
Yes. I mean, like I said, I want to assume, because I can't really, I don't know. I don't talk to enough Trump supporters, but I really want to assume a lot of Trump supporters are disappointed. I mean,
I hope so.
You know what? I want to do a survey. And again,
can we do a survey?
Let's try to do a survey on our YouTube and also our Facebook followers. Again, I want to find out how many people want to get on and just talk. Like, let us know. And I'm okay. I'm okay listening to what you think about this situation. And let's speak up. You know
what you trying to set up a call in or something?
Yes.
Oh, God. All right, we're going to figure this out.
Let's do this. Because I mean, at work, I kind of had a couple of Trump supporters that I didn't think they were Trump supporters, but I had to step back because, again, we're at work. But on the pod, we're absolute DMV. Let's talk about people who are DMV, people who feel this is a good move for the United States. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, so I got a question for you guys. Disappointment. What do y'all have a biggest disappointment, or how do you guys react to disappointment? Because I know a lot of people. I mean, I assume nobody really reacts to disappointment well. There's the few people who I guess have been disappointed enough that they don't react that badly to it, but not everybody reacts well to disappointment. So how do you react to disappointment, or what was the biggest? Not even one of the biggest. What was one of the most, I guess, influential disappointments in your life?
Would it change your life going forward? Or
I wouldn't say change, but just something you remember. Like, you know what I'm saying? You was a kid, Christmas came, you ain't get that toy, and you was just like, damn, Santa, you ain't real.
I think actually
I wrote to you, but you still ain't calling.
So there's a couple disappointments, but I can think of the one I can think of is like pretty much job related. Pretty much when you think you're making a great move by what you were going through, and said, you know what, you think the grass is greener on the other side, and you do make that change, and the disappointment is nah. When you actually took the other job, and you make lesser, you get paid less, you get treated worse, and the disappointment is now I got to struggle more than I should have just stayed where I was and suck it up. That's what I went through, and that's it. Like, I guess other than that, I kind of think like I roll the way it's like it's a life. Like it either makes my life better or worse, but it's life. That's it. That's what makes you a human being.
Yeah. No, I think that's true. And again, like you said, I mean, there's people who can know how to handle disappointment. I think most people don't handle it well. No. I think there's a lot of like deflection and blame. Like you try to figure out what other people did to, mess up a situation to get you here. And there's a lot of like, I'm the victim sort of mentality, which, is normal. But then you also have to like look inward and try to, reflect. And that's where the skill would come.
I feel like that's a generational thing.
Yeah, too.
Like this is where, like back in the day, like toughen up. Like that's I grew up with like tougher skin that like pick your ass up and keep it moving. Like you can't dwell on your past.
Look, growing up, at least me coming up, I lived in the era to where you actually had to talk to women with your mouths. You couldn't just DM them.
Pause.
How's it a pause?
Because your mouths talk with your mouth.
Talk to women with your mouths.
I don't know. I just had to.
Yeah, like, you just wanted to pause
eGogh
me.
talking to women with his
I
nose.
was like, what?
Talking to women with his
I talk with my hands.
with his elbow over here.
I talk with my hands.
This guy. Nah, but we actually had to
The
talk
way
to
you
women
said
with our
it's just
mouths.
the way you said it. Just
No, it sounded saucy, huh? It sounded saucy.
It's up with my mouth.
With your mouths.
That's
Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
With the
okay.
better,
Yeah,
with the buttery
look.
voice.
That's with the buttery voice.
No,
You know what I'm
that
saying?
sounds like an attitude.
Nah. But we actually had to talk to women with our mouths. We had to walk up to them to get their numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
put an effort.
When you were being in you was in the go-go, you was in the party, and you was and the girl was sitting there dancing by herself, and you had to walk up on her and dance with her.
I can see
And you had to get the approval. Because the worst part about it is she didn't even turn around, really.
was
She
her
just looked
homegirl.
up at her homegirl,
Yeah.
and her homegirl nodded. So you weren't even getting the approval of the girl you wanted. You were getting her friend's approval.
She had
And
a-
if you didn't get that approval and she turned around and gave you that on the chest, oh man, that's some disappointing shit.
Yeah, that's rough.
It's so funny.
That right there.
But the thing about it is, back then we were so used to.
No, but we had to deal with it.
Yeah, it was just
'cause
on
you
the
had to-
daily.
Yes,
Kept it
you
moving.
had to
On the
pick
daily.
yourself
kept
up.
it moving.
You had to same party too.
Yeah.
Same party. You get the hand to the chest. You got to pick yourself up and go find another one to dance with.
Because they all laughed at you when you walked off.
Oh yeah.
So
But-
that's what I'm saying. You had to make your way to the other side of the party to find a whole different chick that didn't see what just happened
what just
to you.
happened.
And your homeboy saw that happen.
And
It's
your
like a whole. It's again. And,
But your homeboys is doing one of two things. They clowning you.
Oh,
Or you got the one homeboy, because that's me. I'm the supporter. I'm like, nah, man, fuck that bitch. Get back in there.
Yeah,
Get back
yeah.
in there. Go get the other one. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. When you say generational difference, I'm like, we
Definitely.
grew up with disappointments. Like, even till this day, what the worst is so bad that the worst disappointment that I get is when I don't hit on the sneakers hat. That will ruin my day, bro.
oh, you definitely gonna hit down.
You
You're
see
gonna hit down for these these terrorists.
Yeah.
Oh, no, when these terrorists hit, bro.
$700 Air Forces.
Oh my
Yo,
God.
You're not able. You're not in the same tax bracket with these.
Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and bow out, bro.
Yo, these motherfuckers competing.
I'm gonna go ahead and bow out, bro.
I mean, honestly, now's a good time to buy a bunch of sneakers,
Man.
because the commodity price is about to be
right.
astronomical.
Your price. Yeah, this is.
I might turn into a sneaker reseller, man. I might
other-
turn into a sneaker reseller
You
because
could. You have a
everything
lot.
gonna go. Everything gotta go.
You got to get money for these tariffs.
Aces, boogies.
Hey, man.
Yeah,
on eBay.
sneakers at Ace's place.
Yeah, straight up, but whatever it is, y'all might gonna have to come holler at me sooner or
Well,
later. I might
actually-
have a plug for y'all.
And like I
will-
said, this might be. I'm sorry, Mark. So I think this is also if you could take a negative to a positive too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can literally take all the people who are collectors can literally resell and while the market's going up and get that money back if they can afford it.
But,
If
but
you-
I'm
if
trying
you-
to tell you, we don't. If you wear your shoes, you love your shoes, you're not really selling your shoes.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
there's a lot of sneakerheads that
Like-
don't wear shoes. It is.
Yeah.
There are.
And that's what I'm
There
saying.
are.
Like those people right
Yeah.
now.
I got like 3 pairs that I have not worn yet.
And that's what I'm saying. Like those people that have warehouses now, there's probably a bit. It's the same time when after COVID and all the used cars were pretty much, and you sold your used car to get the best.
Well, the car market is about to be crazy right now too.
Man.
I mean,
Oh my
look,
God.
everything's
Can you
going up.
imagine?
If you thought eggs were expensive,
Oh
you're
my
not.
God.
We're not buying houses no time soon. Don't buy a car, I guess, unless it's an American car, and
We're not
you
buying
probably
eggs.
can't even buy that because they import their steel and other
Yep.
things like that.
Yep.
So I don't even know,
And-
bro, what you're gonna be able to really buy. Just it's gonna be sneakers about to go
Everybody
I-
got vegan.
$100 up, so they
Vegan-
already
vegan.
200 something.
Go vegan.
yeah. Well, I have a
Go
question for you,
vegan is
Eric.
wild.
For your Eric,
Go
for you,
vegan is wild.
for you and your car. So you have an Alfa Romeo, right? But that's part of.
Damn, Nick.
Oh, I didn't mean. Shit.
Hey, and now y'all
want
see
it-
why I say ego does not work on his car.
My bad. I didn't even shout out like that. I mean, I didn't know it was a secret. I drive an Audi.
No.
It's
It's not a secret, but it's just funny because we could talk about that another way. Go ahead with
But anyway, so my whole thing is that's part of the whole conglomerate that Fiat owns, like Chrysler, Dodge,
Yep.
Ram, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, Fiat, of course.
Pretty much.
Anyway,
General Motors.
Exactly. Well, no, General Motors is Chevy or whatnot. This is the
It's the same.
Chrysler.
Yeah, that's their
their
version.
But
of
at the
General
same
Motors.
time-
I know what you're saying. I know what you're
Yeah, but at the same time, they're not like, where do the tariffs go into this? Because it's not an American car company anymore. It's owned by Italy.
So
A lot of Italian products, but they have some of them that are
No, it's
older
American
American
product.
names.
So okay.
No, the whole car has to be, if it's made somewhere else, and
No.
it has to be brought over here to be sold.
So
So it's still gonna suffer it's still gonna fall under the tariffs.
if the parts, even though they slapped American name on it, it's still made in another country.
Exactly.
Their part. So that's the thing about it is like, even if it was made in China and they just slapped that part on there, it's still going to get charged because it's a transaction. It's technically a transaction
So that's the thing is there's a lot of American cars that are made
overseas.
And then on top of that, a lot of cars like, say, Toyota. We have a lot of Toyota factories. But then at the same time, the parts are coming from another country, and we're just assembling.
Yep.
So
the problem.
we're going to have tariffs on basically,
Everything.
I don't know if there's one American car company that you can produce solely from what we make here and assemble.
Everything is overseas for everything we actually develop.
Bro, Canada told us that they were going to cut off our power to certain northern states.
Yes, that's
we even
connected.
import our power.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm trying to say. We don't export anything. We are the consumers. People like us because we buy things. And if we don't buy things, people aren't going to like us.
And we're not going to have money to buy.
We can't make them over here.
Okay, so we're sidebar.
That's it.
Literally, we went from asking a question.
Hey, like, comment, subscribe. Absolute DMV. We out, man.